Quite a few things happened in 1997. Whenever I watch a TV quiz show and they ask, what year did blank happen? My go-to answer is always 1997. Because it's usually correct. Princess Diana died in a car crash. Dolly the sheep was the first cloned animal. The Lion King musical debuted on Broadway. Scotland voted to have us in Parliament. NASA's Pathfinder landed on Mars. The first Harry Potter book was sold. Hong Kong returned to Chinese rule. Microsoft became the world's most valued company. The Heaven's Gate cult committed mass suicide. Tony Blair became Prime Minister. Mother Teresa died. Woolworths closed in the US. O.J. Simpson was found guilty. Steve Jobs returned to Apple. Titanic was released. It was always burning since the world was turning. You're welcome for the pub quiz help, by the way. And in 1997, the UK last won Eurovision, with Katrina and the Waves performing Love Shine a Light. Katrina and the Waves being an American group, by the way. And among all the fires we didn't start, among all the fires we didn't start, about halfway through the year, she was born.
She wants to be seaweed and twine, hair and briars, parcel string and spider silk, snail trails and smoke, threads and chains, lemongrass and washing lines, but she is...
Oh well, she really likes Eurovision. That was a really bad opening for a show. And it probably didn't make any sense. You can go. But the tickets were free, so I can't refund it, and time is non-refundable, so... But as you leave, don't step on the yarn, because the fire curtain is there, and it has to be behind the fire curtain. And I did a risk assessment, and I said that the people, the public, they've never stepped on the stage area, so don't do that. If you're like in between people and you want to go, you're going to have to do like the theatre shuffle to get out. But it's my fault, so say it's her fault. Even this bit would be better if it was more frantic, wouldn't it? Let me, because if, like, you know, like Fairytale's pyramid, where you have, like, the exposition and then the inciting incident and the rising action. Well, this is, there is no exercising here. It is just dance. But let me try to explain.
She picks herself apart. There's so many things she wants to say, trapped between her lips and the back of her skull. The subjects pop between her ears. She has all these facts in her head, all of these interesting things, and she wants to throw them in your direction and see what happens from there. Her threadbare tongue twists the air into words and nothing happens. How does she begin? Vowel, consonant. How was your mum? How was your holiday? Her fingers ache for thread, because that makes sense. The comfort of pattern and repetition and knowing where it's going. Malleable acrylic and pink paper labels, a slip stitch beginning followed by chains and trebles. But she wants to be brave. It's thrumming in her feet, the power of go. She wants to be brave, so she opens her mouth and begins spinning colours into a sentence. Heritage square marked at the top. It reads, Tynemouth, Castle and Priory. Somebody's turned the battlefield into a museum and the graveyard into a gift shop to preserve. The moat is a place for middle-class stroll. The feudal system can never imagine all of these docked martins treading on their land. Those blue tarpaulin boats are lined up like battleships. Did they think that their turrets would look out over allotments? A pretty pink, slow, mind that child ice cream van is parked outside the portcullis. Just think of all those sticky finger marks in the armoury. The seagulls circle overhead like ghost guards, and I wonder how these spirit troops developed a taste for chips between their shifts. A man in a red checkered shirt with a tiny paper bag swinging by his side and a reusable paper cup in his hand looks up at the ruins. And then back down to the ground. Castles are as common as muck. I wonder if there are dead people fragmented in the sand. Shell and bone, and shell and bone, piled into plastic buckets and added to a child's masterpiece. Yeah. This is preservation.
Here's a fun fact. Well, you might not find it fun, it might depend on your definition of fun. Basically, in Eurovision, nobody, and I repeat nobody, plays live instruments. It is all fake. It's actually against the rules. The only thing that they're allowed to do live is sing. So this year, Sam Ryder doing his guitar solo for us, fake. The shirtless drummer, because there is always a shirtless drummer, fake. Duncan Lawrence on his piano, the Austrian guy on his burning piano, even our beloved Alexander Rybak on his fiddle. Showbiz is a lie.
Trashy rom-coms manufacture romance chemicals in your brain. They make you feel things that you are not actually feeling. Comedy shows manufacture humour, theme parks manufacture adrenaline, video games give you a sense of adventure, Sims makes you feel productive and successful. ASMR. Twitch streams just chatting tag, study with me, and 2 hours of rain sounds. Emotions on tap. Pick your flavour. and we're wondering when the future will begin.
Sorry, so far this hasn't made any sense. It's just, like, a lot of things. But I'm just trying to...
She likes interesting things and interesting facts, and when she finds one, she looks forward to sharing it, and her thoughts are muddled. Wrapping them up in art makes them make sense, but she wants to be brave, and she wants this to make sense. Last night, I watched a live stream of war from 8 different angles, with people arguing and spamming in the live chat. The invasion is sidebarred with angry emojis and pixelated flags. According to these onlookers, NATO is 10 chicken emojis, all caps. Let's go, USA! Yellow, blue, stamped hearts in solidarity with the people. The odd Jesus is coming, repent, through the neck of good luck. 23,235 watching now with 4K likes. Wow! This war is doing pretty well. Maybe it will reach trending. 11 white flags, something about Rambo and Chuck Norris. Somebody's typed up the betting odds. Much love from Romania. Can't sleep. Where are the Marvel heroes when needed? 22,000 watching now. Oh, it's gone down. Brett hands, flexed arms. Where are the Avengers? This is fake live. And then there's me, sat on my sofa, typing out these rambles in hopes that I can string them together into something that makes sense. I don't. Last night, I heard a man who escaped from war in a dinghy talk about justice. I sit in my chair and I try to string it together into something that makes sense.
You know, Eurovision started after World War II. They wanted to use this newfangled television device to unite a war-torn Europe through song. Switzerland hosted, because of course, and Switzerland won. I mean, it's post-World War II, who else are you going to vote for? Ireland has won it more than any other country. They did it 3 times in a row in the 90s, though Sweden is catching up. And the UK has come second more than any other country. Yes! The UK, good at being almost good. And this year included, thank you Sam Ryder, we have now done it 16 times. Woo! Yeah. We used to be pretty good at it. It's only recently that we've come last 5 times. And all of those times have been since 2003. The same year the Iraq War started, the Human G-Men project was completed, the UK recorded its highest temperature, Apple released iTunes, Return of the King won 11 Oscars, and the song Hey Ya was released. And last year we had our infamous Nil Pois with James Newman's Embers. It got 0 in the televote,
and 0 in the jury vote, making it the lowest rated song in Eurovision history. I quite like the song though. I like the phrase, oh well. I think there's power in it. It's a flick of a switch. It's a cool cloth. You spent over a year knitting a jumper in hand-spun yarn, only to wear it one time before shrinking it in the wash. Oh well. You go early to class, only to have it cancelled. Oh well. Oh well is a breath of fresh air and an understanding that in the greater scheme of things, it didn't really mean anything. The past is the past. You can't change that. And that's fine. It's boring. I really don't want to be boring. Because, like, even if it's bad, it's still getting an emotional reaction out of you. Whereas if it's boring, it doesn't really work. You know, Eurovision is not as political as people think it is. I mean, it is, because when you combine culture and competition together, it's going to get a bit political. And, like, Greece and Cyprus always giving you 12 points. George, what is that? And, like, France this year. I thought France were going to win. They were in my top 5. Then it was second last. And that's not fair. But that's kind of... I mean, I hate that, but that's also what I really like about it, because it is completely unpredictable. We might host next year. That's very exciting. But it's become this whole, like, thing. Because our cultural minister is saying that we shouldn't host, and they want the EBU, that's the Eurovision Broadcasting Union, to take it back to Ukraine. And the Ukrainian cultural minister wants it to be in Ukraine as well. But the thing is that it's not that, like, just if they have peace by next May, then it can be like a pop-up event. Because it takes them 12 months to do. So no, I mean, another year, then yes, they should have won, but that's not the way it works. Sometimes I feel like I have all these words scurrying around my head, pull on thread, and they all unravel, and I am tongue-tied. I try to put it back, and it just repeats, and back to the beginning, and always back to the beginning again, like a phone that's got stuck in its circuits and needs to be restarted. Why? Didn't brains come with a refresh button? Instead, my tongue runs loops against my teeth, and my jaws clap down on the word line. Why can't I just shout line? If the world is all a stage, then there should be a man in a corner with a script waiting to prompt me when I shout the word line. Line? No, it's not a bit. Genuinely can't remember what's next. Line? Anyone know a line? Anything? Okay. I will move on to the next section. loads of them, and every year we are sending up more. And yeah, that's great and all. Wi-Fi for everybody, beam it straight down into the centre of the Earth. That's amazing. But there is a tiny little problem. Basically, if there was a meteor or a satellite that went slightly out of control and it were to smash into another satellite, you'd get all this debris flying about everywhere. And then I would fly off and I would smash into another satellite. And then I would fly off and I would smash into another satellite. Oh, do you get what I'm saying? Satellite dominoes. One after the other. Smash, smash, smash until they're all gone. And then there's like this sheen. There's this sheen of satellite debris around our orbit. And it's moving, it's very fast. And it's very small. But it's very dangerous. And it would lock us into the Earth. And we wouldn't be able to send anything else up. And it would lock us in and we wouldn't be able to go anywhere. And I know what you're thinking. Well, I wasn't planning on leaving Earth. And yeah, that's fine. Neither was I. Not a billionaire. But it would be there for 10 generations. And it would knock out all of our satellite communication. And it would all just go. So that, dear audience, is hubris. Satellite debris.
You know, in 2010, Germany won with a song called Satellite. Dr. Duncan McDougall performed an experiment where he weighed patients as they were dying. He wanted to see what the weight of the human soul was. When these patients died, would they lose weight? Yes. 21 grams. That's it. I just wanted to tell you that because I thought it was interesting. Belgium has sent 2 songs in made-up languages. One in 2003 with Sanami, and one in 2008 with Ode to Lucy. Completely fictional, made-up gibberish. And I kind of like that. To express yourself in a way that nobody else understands. Is that still art? Does that make sense? If you're doing nonsense, but on a stage, is that art? I don't know. The 2008 song is now used as an Apple commercial in Belgium, but the 2003 one actually managed to connect with people. If you look it up on YouTube, there is a comment underneath saying, how is it possible that a song that has no meaning gives me more emotions than any other more current ESC song? ESC stands for Eurovision Song Contest. I know, by the way, it came second. It is samo, let it clear, I said so with as fine, I cry and near cry, near more you have spad, and listen, statue show, should tease for I one a, over you have some more, j'ai brodo long, sano mi hele, mami la keranu, alia ere mania la go to la manale, sing along! Sano mi hele, mami la keranu, alia ere mania manale. Eurovision is a brief moment of silliness and pure expression in an otherwise inside-the-box world. It is the comic relief character of the year. It is that laugh in a serious business meeting. It's that weird part of the solo show that doesn't really make any sense.
and makes the audience think, is she just doing this because she really likes Eurovision, or is there actually meaning behind this? To her, Eurovision is the ultimate form of artistic expression. It is camp and dramatic, and it doesn't pretend to be highbrow, and she thinks that that's what part of her wants to be. On one hand, she thinks the best way to speak is through pretty metaphors and trying to be as complicated and as clever as you can, but on the other, she likes this straightforward trash type of expression. Almost every song in Eurovision is either about love or world peace. I mean, and they're all going to shine a light together. It is simple, it's to the point, and it gets the job done. This whole show, she has been trying to let you into her brain. She wants you to see inside of her, but it's the only way that she can do it. And she knows that she spins from topic to topic, and she is sorry, but she's just trying her best to speak, because people aren't linear. We don't work in straight lines. If you are going to reveal yourself to others, there is going to be mess. It is going to jump from one thing to the next. If the whole world is a stage, then a one-person show is an operating table where she draws out her innards for this soft-jawed audience of a surgical theatre. She wants you to see her, and she wants to connect, but she doesn't know how. She speaks in rhymes and alliterations and threes because she thinks it gives her more impact. She uses hand gestures when she speaks because she thinks it gives her more weight, and she refers to herself in third person because talking about yourself is embarrassing, and making a show about yourself is really arrogant. She really wants to go back to the beginning and start this again, because this is not good. And it's just some sort of self-indulgent thing where it doesn't mean anything to you, but it means something to me, but you're not me, so you don't know that. I've just presented you with a lot of stuff in the hopes that you can string it together into something that makes sense, but I don't think you can. And you can leave if you want. I don't mind. But again, careful of the yarn. But the yarn doesn't have any meaning. It doesn't represent anything. It's just sort of there. And I crocheted that skirt just for that gag. And it's really warm. And I wanted to see if I could put my brain on stage in hopes that you would understand it, but the answer to that is no, apparently it doesn't work. And I'm sorry, because you deserve a better show, and you deserve something that actually makes sense. And I just wish that I could go back to the beginning and start again. But I can't. I came across a phrase the other day. You can't go home again. It means there's no more turning back. You can't go home again. If you leave a place and then to return, it won't be the same again. The past is gone forever. You can't go home again. That battlefield that we turned into a museum can't be returned again. We are cynical about the present, but you can't go back again. And you can say, oh well, the past is the past, you can't go home again, but you can't shout line in a conversation. You can't go back again. And when we are trapped on this planet by satellite debris, we can't go back again. And when the soul leaves the body at 21 grams, it can't go back again. And when there's a camera in your face and you hear 0 points, you can't go back again. And talking to people can be scary, because when you start a sentence, you can't restart again.
Sometimes, I think, with all these words and all this flowery language pretentiousness and this trying to be clever, maybe all I'm trying to do is just find a way to say hello